Yeah, I went to court yesterday, and they had told me that I don't gotta go back to court or whatever because they had gave my daughter to her auntie, and so I lost custody of her. They gave full custody to her auntie, um, to my daughter's grandmother, to my daughter's grandmother's sister. Um, yeah, I mean they crushed me. I mean from the beginning. Uh, the feds and the army, it was a brilliant plan. Um, how they did it, you know. But they got my daughter now, and I don't know if they're gonna make her join the military or if they're gonna turn her to some hoe or or what. But they got her now, you know what I'm saying? It's finalized, and now they making her auntie ask me for child support, and so the court I guess gonna put me on child support. Um, from the beginning, you know, when all this first started, when me and my baby mama was together and we was thinking about getting married, you know, the feds they stationed some young wild dudes, um, young thug looking people. They gave them houses, money, and, you know, cars and stuff. And my baby mama liked that at the time, and not to mention she had already been with me like 5 years, and so she knew what being with me was like. And she looking at all the young wild niggas, and she wanted to, I guess, be with them. And when she was with me, she didn't drink, she didn't smoke, she didn't do none of that, you know. And then once she got with them, you know, undercover Fed niggas, you know, they little army and stuff, and she was smoking and drinking and fighting and beating people up and things like that, you know. And they were setting up from the beginning. My daughter at the time was like a couple months old, and then once they took her away from me, you know, they had sex with her. They had their dudes, you know, have sex with her, and then she had more babies. And I was thinking that maybe they had sex with her and got her pregnant from, you know, random dudes who was all like working for the feds. They were all undercover like snitches or criminals for the feds and the army. And I think they was getting her pregnant because they thought that by her having one child by me already, they can make her have the rest by their dudes. And when I come to see my daughter, basically I'll be coming to see them. But once the plans, they see that that plan didn't work, you know, they killed her. You know, they told her she had cancer and everything, and you know, 'cause they extremely smart, and they was so called giving her chemotherapy or whatever that was. Um, I was trying to pursue my career of MMA fighting. I was getting pretty good at it, you know, training, and you know, I get the news that she had died, and so now the state got involved, which I actually been tricked because once the state got involved, you know what I'm saying? See, the feds been watching us from a long time, from like when my daughter, like I said, when she was young, so they've been planning that. All this time they've been watching us. They would never let me work. I couldn't go to school. I couldn't do nothing but just sit in the neighborhood where they can see me. Anything positive, I was not allowed to do. Only negative stuff, drugs, liquor, all that negative stuff, violence. They allow you to do that, but anything positive, you cannot and will not do it. You know, once they come around. And I thought it was a game thing. You know, they were sticking their middle finger up at me, and I was sticking my middle finger up at them. And before it got to that point, when they took me to jail, because you know, like a undercover FBI agent, he drove me to jail because they said I had a warrant, and so I wanted to turn myself in to get this warrant off of me. And so the FBI, undercover FBI guy, I think he was, maybe he was, I think yeah, he had to be with the FBI, something like that. And they took me to jail. The judge told me I had to do 1 month. Once the feds and the military came in there, they kept me in there 4 months. I think 4 or 5 months. Um, cause I know the judge told me I had to do what 30 days, and I ended up doing 100 and something days, something like that, something. Uh, no, 120 something, 120 something, 130 something days, and um, and but I don't want to talk about what they was doing to me in there because this video gonna be too long. I'm kind of skipping through things, but and so after that I did my time or whatever. They told me when I was in jail, they tried to like get me to work for them, and they was like running tests on me to see. Oh, hold up, my computer about to die. I gotta put a charger on. I didn't know the battery was so low. Okay, okay, and yeah. So at that time, I guess they was running tests on me to see was I down to what kind of nigga I was. You know what I'm saying? Based on the investigation, if I was a young wild nigga, they was gonna try to like make me have sex with younger teens, like little 13 and 14-year olds because they kept trying to see would I bite on that and stuff. But they was testing me for that when I was in jail. But they found out that I was a different type of nigga. But they still try to throw those you know people. I guess they was taking them from foster homes or maybe killing their mom and dads and then pimping them out because I've seen them, you know, having sex on the side of the houses. Like this army and the feds here in South Florida, they wasn't playing. It wasn't playing with them, raping them, killing them, everything. And so, you know, when they got on me, they was like wanted me to tell on my mama or some shit. They was asking me, "Would you tell on your mama and everything?" I was like, "Hell no, my mama don't even do nothing. Why would I?" And then they was asking me, "Do I know all these people?" Like they was naming people, and I was like, "No," which I did know them, but I was telling them, "No, I don't know them." You know what I'm saying? Why? What you know what I'm saying? What's your purpose? Why you ain't just come to me when you was in jail and just tell me you was an FBI agent and you needed me to, you needed some information or something. So maybe I would have told you. But when you trying to hide undercover, and I knew who you was, and you ain't present yourself to me proper, and you trying to get me to roll with you. Nah, I'm not gonna roll with you. You dirty, you filthy, and you a snake. And so when they seen that, they let me out of jail, which I didn't think they were gonna let me out of jail because I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, um, and when they let me out of jail, they told me they're gonna be watching me. I was like, I don't give a damn. You can watch me all you want. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, like I said in the last video, they meant like 2 weeks, but nah, they when they say watch, they mean like years, 12, 15, 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, a little girl was growing up, and they were still watching us. They had already planned to take the child to take my daughter from me, but I didn't know that they were gonna kill my baby mama though. That caught me on surprise until they started giving her all these random niggas, and I knew that they wanted me to come visit my daughter when she had all these random niggas in her house drinking and smoking because they wanted me to get cool with them niggas. You see, because they was all undercover informants. They already working for the feds, and so the feds liked me, so they wanted to get me down with them after they murdered my grandmother and they murdered like 7 of my family members and they knew I knew about it. So at first they tried to kill me, and then once they tried to kill me, I don't know, they saw something in me, they got used to me, and then they started liking me. So they tried to get me down with their crew. They got all kinds of crew, street gang units. They got police units, lawyer units, hospital units. They got all kind of people in they in their new government gang. Um, and so they wanted me to get cool with the niggas. So they'll post them anywhere they thought I was gonna be. At my cousin's house, my mom's house, my any one of my family members' house I go to, they surrounded, flooded with feds. And they have one of my family members always trying to introduce me to them. And so they wanted me to start getting back good with my baby mama after they had already had sex with her like 100 times and gave her all these different baby daddies. Because all of them used to be in her house smoking and drinking and stuff, and then they wanted me to come over there and smoke and drink with them so I could be all hood with a bunch of undercover feds that I don't even know, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe kill me or lock me up. When they see that wasn't working, so they killed her. And it was very smart. And the reason why I say that because when they killed my baby mom, the state came and took my daughter, and I could, like I said, I couldn't work. You see what I'm saying? So they plan. Every time I filled out job applications, they'll walk in after I leave. I guess this is what I'm guessing. Maybe say, I'm under a federal investigation, and I'm not allowed to work or whatever they say. And then 2 3 years or 2 3 months later, the whole company shut down, the building knocked down. They done built something new over it, like they was on some real murder shit, like real criminal shit. Any building, if I call a building, is closed down. If I go in there and leave 2 3 months later, they shut the whole thing down and knocked it down and built something else over it, to make it seem like it was cool. But it wasn't just because of me. It's because they had already killed thousands of people. Because they already told me. They was like, we killed thousands of people. And they, the police looking for us too. Which I know they were lying because they way smarter than the police. Police suckers. They dumb as hell. Because police trust police. So if you're a police, you can kill a police. He ain't gonna think you gonna kill him. He gonna be out in the street looking for criminals. They dumb. They just only thing they never think outside the box. They put on their gear. They think about one individual. They don't never think about another agency. What your ass gonna do when the agencies get up and look to kill you? And you out here looking for one nigga who can't read, can't write, dropped out of high school in the third grade. You know what I'm saying? He dumb. He ain't no real threat to you. The real threat is other niggas that's wearing badges and guns like you. And that's what happened. And that's how the Fed took over. And then the army moved in the city and dressed up like us and was killing us. And they ain't have no sympathy. They was raping us and killing us and dressed up like normal people, nigga, with flip flops, everything we got, they got. And got their kids in the hood with us and all. So it was very hard to tell who's who. You don't know if they feds, if they army, if they criminals, or if they victims, because they all look alike. So sometimes you might think this person a fed or the military, but they be a victim. They be getting raped and crying for help, but you might ignore the cries because they tortured you too. So now you treating everybody like a suspect and you don't know what's what. That was my situation. But when you catch on, sometimes you realize some of these people are victims just like you. But it be too late most of the time because they've been and killed their whole family. And they was wiping out my whole family. And at the same time, they hurt me, squashed the shit out of me economically. That's why I ain't have no shit. Financially, they shut my ass down for years, for years. Since Bush was in the chair, and when Bush left the chair, when Obama got in, they was still shutting me down. It wasn't nothing I can do with nothing. And so when I was in jail, I remember this person say, we're gonna be sending you a check, cause they was like, just tell them you crazy, cause they was like, you don't want to be in here, huh? I was like, no, I don't want to be in here around these dudes. They mean like when I was in jail, I ain't like to be in general population because it's a lot of niggas walking around and everything, and I'm trying to do my time, and they be trying to pick fights with you, but they work for the feds and the army, so they gonna get out regardless of whatever, whenever the army and the feds come get them out. If you hit them in there, you gonna get more time added on to your sentence. And so that's why I didn't want to be in GP. So when they came and put me to the side, they were like, I could see you don't even want to be in here. I'm like, nah, man. He was like, well, just tell them you crazy and they'll put you in the cell by yourself. If you want to cell by yourself, right? I was like, yeah. And so they would come in there and be like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, man, I don't feel like being in here, man. And he was like, what? I'm like, man, I'm about to go crazy. I'm thinking about punching somebody. So they took me out and put me in the cell by myself, and it worked. And it was asking me all these questions and everything. And then they offered to say something about I'm gonna be getting a check and things or whatever. And so I remember that. So when I got out, I wasn't allowed to work. I wasn't allowed to go to school or nothing because the feds was already planning to take my daughter from day one. You know what I'm saying? They want to take my daughter and basically rape her, but in a smart way. When she start getting of age, you know what I'm saying? 13, 14, 15, they're going to be putting niggas in her and around her that's 13, 14, you know what I'm saying? Making her fall in love with them and have sex with her that way. You know what I'm saying? Then when she get old, when they done wrecking her brain, they may make her join the army or they may turn her to a hoe. Whatever they want to do with her, it's up to them now. Cause I just lost the case yesterday, and I, what it was October 2nd. Yep, and this October the 3rd, 2014. Yeah, man, and this case been going going on for a year. Right after they murdered my baby mama last year. They've been dragging me to court ever since then, trying to find out how much money I make, and it all makes sense because they only they only what they did to me, because they tortured me mentally and physically for years. You know what I'm saying? For years, and it did make me kind of paranoid. They made me this way, and so I see why they did that. So I can apply for Social Security and only get SSI. You see what I'm saying? So now I've been getting SSI. That's the only thing they wanted me to get. They wouldn't want me to get no real 9 to 5 because you make too much money. See what I'm saying? That's what I was trying to say in my last video. They would rather me make $700 a month than to make $700 a week, or $700 every 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? Or $300 a week. When I anything that's consistent with me getting too much money, they it's like they be wanting to kill me or rob me or stuff like that. So, or don't let me work at all. So they comfortable with me getting $700 or something a month through SSI. So it was all a plan. You see what I'm saying? So now when I was going to court, the people found out that I was getting SSI and everything, and they was like, "Oh, he crazy or whatever." So they was calling me crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it made sense. All the shit the feds did to me, physically and mentally, fighting, shooting at me, trying to run me over in cars, paying all these niggas to fight me. You know what I'm saying? Following me around every day, say slick stuff, pick at me when make death sounds when they murder my grandma. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, I guess when they was killing my grandmother, she was begging them and saying something. I guess they choked her to death or something. And and they'll get around me and be like, make little sounds of a person that's dying when you're killing them. And I knew they were talking about my grandma, and they were smiling in my face, and they drive around every day following me around in these $100,000 cars while I'm walking in the hot sun, their AC blowing, they laughing their ass off, they living their life. And even my family, that was working for them, they they bought my whole family because they realized they couldn't buy me, and so it worked. And now by me getting SSI, once they killed my baby's mother and the state jumped in, see, they used the state to legally rob me for my daughter. Once they killed her mama, the state jumped in and grabbed the kids. And then by me labeled as, by I was getting SSI, and they said I was crazy or whatever, that they was like, "Oh, we want you to do a psychiatric evaluation." I did that, and they started naming all this other stuff they wanted me to do. They were just on me, just making me do all this senseless bullshit. They knew who I was from the beginning. The feds already knew who I was. You know what I'm saying? And so and they jumped in and just dragging me to court, making me burn money to go there. They changed the prices, like for all of their criminals and everybody who worked for them, and they little gang and their military and stuff. They pay like $1 to get on the bus, $1.75. But when I try to go get on the bus, they say, "Oh, it's $5." So they charge me $5 if I go to a corner store, because they took over all the stores in the area. They military and the feds, they dudes that pay like 50 cents for a bag of chips, maybe like a quarter a bag of chips. I go in there, it's like 75 cents. You know what I'm saying? Like they jacking up prices. That's why they was following me around to see what all I buy every time I go to the store. So eventually, in like 2 3 months, when they see me whatever the favorite foods and the favorite things I like to buy, they go in there and jack the prices up. Only for me. Not only me, but only everybody who not with them, who not in their army, and who not in their gang. Mostly criminals. You have to commit a crime for them to be with them. Because when you commit the crime, you belong to them. You can't tell, you can't get away from them. There's no help for you because you gave them your life basically. You commit a crime for them. I wouldn't commit a crime for them. So now they trying to make me regret that, you know. And so they took my daughter away and it hurted me, man. And then but they probably, she belonged to them now. They gonna do whatever they wanna do with her now. But so that's why they only let me get this Social Security. So now when I went to court and everything, they was like, "Oh, you crazy," and this and that. They were talking bad as shit about me or whatever. And the judge was in the military. You know what I'm saying? You know how sometimes you could look at somebody and you could tell they're in the military or they done killed a lot of people. So he was a killer. You know, he was a judge in the army. You know, you could tell he done killed a couple people. The army took the case from the state. Once the state took the kids, you know, the army and the military came in there and took over that shit real fast and got on the case. And then, you know, they legally robbed me and my daughter. And so now they using her auntie to request for child support. Now they investigated me for like 12, 13 years, killed my baby mama, killed my grandma, killed my other grandma, killed my grandma on my daddy's side, tortured my mama, was finna kill her. That's why I had took pictures and I made this Facebook page a couple years ago called Justice for Ketron. You know what I'm saying? If you type it in, it's facebook.com/justice for Ketron. You'll see, you know, tag numbers, pictures of them. I just started recently updating it again with recent pictures. I took so many pictures of them. In the first like 6 years, I couldn't take pictures of them because I wasn't allowed to have a phone then. But I guess after they took over enough people, enough stuff, they didn't give a damn if I got a phone. I guess 'cause now they got some powerful people on their side. The message is clear to me now, you know. So now they let me do whatever I want, go wherever I want, but they just follow me, you know. And they still pick on me mentally and everything, and so they, they're very smart. You know, they really fucked my whole life up, decent. They fucked me up, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a black man. You know, I didn't expect nothing, and it may sound crazy, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because it only let me know that I'm black, and no matter what, in case y'all watching, no matter what y'all do to me, for real, no matter what y'all do to me, dog, fuck y'all. That's how I feel, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a proud black nigga. And I know that's what y'all, you know, y'all looking at me as. Yeah, I'm a nigga, you know. But to my viewers and everything, you know, that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? They did. Damn, they fucked my life up. Like they squashed me, dog, like a bug, you know. And another, and I can't get her back now. And you know now, she don't want to come back. You know, when I seen her last time, she told me straight up to my face, you know, she didn't want to live with me and everything. But then again, I know how the feds did me to my face, even finna murder my mama in my face like I was a dummy. I know that the feds probably scared the shit out of her auntie right now, and that's why making her great auntie go to the court and tell them to put me on child support and everything. So now they gonna put me on child support. I gotta pay child support for my daughter. They took my daughter, murdered half of my family, put me through all this bullshit, kept me out of school, kept me kept me like a caged animal, tortured me physically and mentally, annoyed me, tried to run me over, shot at my house, all this shit they did to me. All this shit they did to me. And in the end, they took my daughter. And the last two girls I had in my life. And they killing my mama now already, but slowly. You feel me? You can look at her face and look in her eyes and see that, you know, her eyes be watery. I notice sometimes, I don't know what they be sticking these people with, but when they killing somebody, they face swell and their eyes have a lot of water in it. It's like, and they have black around their eyes, like you take a cigarette and burn them around the eyelids or something. It's like a black eye, but a neat black eye. It's so pretty. But it's ugly, but it's pretty the way how they do it. You feel me? It's right around the eyelids, all black. Your mouth all black, teeth all buttery. And I noticed that. You know, at one point in time, my mama couldn't brush her teeth. She didn't know I noticed, but I knew. I was watching everything they did to us for the whole 12 years that they was investigating us and torturing us. She couldn't brush her teeth. She had to walk down the street with a 7-Eleven cup full of ice, and she couldn't switch hands. You know, like when you carry a cup with ice, that shit, it hurt your hand. You know what I'm saying? It hurt your hand real bad when it's, you know, and it's hot and the ice melting. You got to switch it. You know what I'm saying? If you hold it back ice, that shit hurt. And she could not switch the hand. I was peeping that shit from the whole time. When she see this video, she gonna know I know then. But she still to this day she never knew. The feds didn't even know I knew. I was on to them as much as they was on to me. You know, like torturing me and doing all that. They didn't think I don't know that, but I was watching them watch me for years, and I learned a lot. And I see why they were trying to teach me this, because it's like they still was killing my whole family. They wanted me to work for them, and when they knew I wouldn't work for them, they was willing to take out my whole family, and just to for me to have nowhere to go. But I wasn't even supposed to be blessed with SSI or none of that because they wanted me basically flat ass broke for what they're about to do to me. And so, that's what happened. Yesterday, October 2nd, man. They just told me I ain't got no more rights. You know what I'm saying? They finalized it, paid up everybody. Everybody that was involved in it, from the judges. They kept switching these judges. They had 4, 5 different judges. Nah, I ain't gonna say four. Maybe like 3 or 4 judges come in and get involved. So I believe they was three people from different federal agencies. You know what I'm saying? Dressed up as judges to come in there. So if they 3 or 4 of them down, they say they down the whole agency. What the hell I'm gonna do? I'm just a nigga off the street. You know what I'm saying? I got no power. And so I guess that's what the message was. That's why they kept switching it to all them judges. You know. So they finna get ready to put me on child support. You know what I'm saying, and everything. And damn, they fucked my life up decent, big time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can't do nothing now. I don't know. I got one girl in my life left, and that's my mama. And they basically killing her. They fucked her. They been fucking her for years, and now they got this little nigga. This little nigga got out of jail, and she feeling him. She falling for the trap again. She think he a normal boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? But she don't know he working for the feds, man. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, either what I think they gonna do is because he already got a baby mama. He got like a baby mama and a side girl, and I believe they both feds. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm 100% sure that they work for the feds. And so my mama, they been killing my mama for years, but slowly. They just didn't want to kill her so fast. You know what I'm saying? I believe because I had a lot to do with the reason why she was still alive. I believe if it wasn't for me taking pictures of them and posting it on Facebook and stuff like that, they would have been killed her a long time. She's supposed to be dead like 4, 5 years ago because they know when they kill somebody in your family, it's gonna hurt you in the beginning. They know that, but if they can isolate you long enough, you'll get over it. You see what I'm saying? If they once they kill somebody in your family, they're gonna trick your brain and make you think it's cancer. They're gonna lie to you, or she died of cancer, or whatever they tell you. Because look, they look at it like this: if you black and you a nigga, you are so uneducated. Even if you go to school, you dumb as fuck because just how easy it is to kill you and anybody you love. All it takes for us to get a doctor, pay this doctor, he might be working for us, so we ain't gotta pay him nothing. All it takes for this doctor to tell you anybody in your family member got anything. Basically, meaning like if a doctor tell you your your auntie got AIDS, or if a doctor tell you your auntie got cancer, they could ain't shit probably wrong with them, but you gonna believe it because you black and you dumb. You don't know that. You ain't gonna expect the doctor to be telling you some lies. So when a doctor tell you that, you're gonna take it and run with it. All the while ain't shit wrong with your people. These perfectly fine people, but they're gonna give it to you, eventually. So when you thinking you going for treatment, the medicine, the treatment medicine is actually the disease they sticking you with. And so now you dying, and they telling you they help you. This is the medicine to heal you, but this is the medicine that was that the disease they told you you got, and eventually that medicine gonna kill you. And so that's what it was. They was sticking my mama with needles a little bit at a time. Some kind of poison and stuff like that. I got pictures um on my uh, on my Facebook page, and I got pictures of what I have to say in my phone that shows exactly what they stick people with sometimes. But see, right now I'm uploading this straight to my YouTube page because when I do it like that, it goes faster. If I was using my Windows Movie Maker, I can I can put the pictures in this video as I'm talking to you, and then you can see it as I'm talking. But see, when I do it like that, when I don't use YouTube to upload videos, if I use anything else other than YouTube and then try to upload it to YouTube, it takes hours to upload. And sometimes my internet connection, like like when the feds know that I'm recording something, somehow they got these little devices that'll knock me off the internet. And if they think I'm uploading something, when I get in the middle of uploading it, they'll knock me off the internet, and then the video has to start all over. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, damn. But when I use the YouTube uploader, it goes directly on my page in like 5 seconds. Not, I ain't gonna say 5 seconds, like 5 minutes. I can upload a long video, and it'll sometimes take 5 minutes. But so so I ain't gonna be able to do it because I'm using YouTube right now. If I was using, the movie maker, I could put all these pictures while I'm telling you the video so you can see for yourself. But I may put it in another video. But yeah, they squashed me, man. And so they was killing my mom, and they still killing her. They got her so scared. She ain't gonna never say nothing. She just done me a puppet now. She know there ain't nothing to be fucked with. I know that too, but it just, I just, I'm just, I just had enough of them. Over the years. In the beginning, I was scared shitless, but somebody keep picking on you over and over again. You know what I'm saying? You stand up for yourself. There's only so much you can take. I know they can kill me real fast, but it's a part of me that's really not scared of them, and there's another part of me that's just pulling for when they ass go down. That's all I can see. I got because when you go on the news, you hear one suspect, two suspects. You ain't gonna never hear about another agency arresting another agency. The whole agency. I mean, busting their ass. You can't make a deal with them. They don't want to hear nothing. They just taking you straight to jail. That's it. That's what I want. That's what I'm pushing for, and for some of them to get the death penalty. But then again, I don't know if I'm gonna feel right because they could fake arrest people. How will I know if the people that's being arrested is really the people who did all these bad things to not only my family and me, but to the rest of the people what I witnessed that I got killed and just straight up murdered, tortured, raped, whatever, you know. And so, I'm fucked. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now only lady I got left in my life is my mama. They're gonna take her, but so I might get ready to move because the good Lord has blessed me with some housing and the prices is really cheap. You know what I'm saying? So here's the deal, the reason why, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't really do nothing because this house was given to me. I was already homeless because of them. They had me homeless. They had me on the road. They was getting ready to finish me 2 3 years ago. I mean financial wise. But then again, I stumbled across this house. Mr. Ralph gave me this house, and they let me live in it for free. But they already told me in a couple of years it's gonna be foreclosed on, so I can't do nothing here. But it's rent free, and it was keeping me away from my family, who already was flooded with feds. Every time I stay with any one of them, it's a gang of feds in the house, undercover military soldiers and feds all through the house, and I didn't like that. But when I got this house, it's just me. I can be away from all of them and their crazy little games and setups and torture, mentally and physically, all that. I can be here making my videos like what I'm doing now, and so that's what happened. But my time here is already getting real short. And so, while I was here, I pay my rent. I mean, I pay my light bill, my internet bill, my cable bill. So, but I took advantage of my internet because once I've been paying it, I've been filling out applications, doing what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? And so, some of my applications have been answered, and I get to move. Now, the only thing I hope is that when I move, I hope the feds don't move there and then take over that whatever city I'm moving to, because they smart enough. They'll murder the shit out of them polices. They ain't nothing, and then they'll be moving next door to me in another city, and then they'll start this whole shit all over again, and then here we go again, you know. And so that's what it is, and like I said, because the police too stupid, man. But so that's my life now, and now it's just basically me. To be honest with you, because I don't really trust none of my family members, and that's what the feds wanted. They wanted me not to trust my family members because they wanted me to trust them. So they made my family fuck with me and torture me and get on my brains with their services and their support and their um intelligence. So now they got me not to trust my family and friends, so they could slip their family and friends in around me. That's what they thought. And I was like, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm not like the mother niggas. If I can't trust my family, my friends, I'm not gonna trust none of y'all motherfuckers. You, especially y'all, cause I know my family. I know my family ain't this fucking smart. My family don't do this shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all told them this shit and trying to teach them how to talk their federal shit and all that shit. So now I just cut everybody loose, and I guess I am paranoid. You know what I'm saying? But you don't just get paranoid for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But they got me. You know, they got me decently. They fucked me up big time, dog. Big time, big time. And so I'm just gonna live my life and live my life as it comes. They knocked me out of um, MMA fighting. They stopped me from boxing. They stopped me from going to school. Stopped me from working. They stopped me from they everything. And then killed 9 of my family members and killed my baby mama. Used the state to take my child, and now the state took my child. Is robbery, and now they're gonna be having sex with my daughter when she get in that age, and then it's gonna make it's gonna be like, yeah, nigga, we killed your whole family, nigga, we did all this shit. Now we fucking your daughter, and now we gonna kill her too. She don't know. When I go and try to tell her this shit, she be scared. She don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And they got her though. She belonged to them, and she told me, I don't know if they told her if she said she want to stay with me, they gonna kill her. I don't know what, but she told me to my face. She was like, Daddy, I don't want to stay with you and everything. So I respected that. It's pretty clear to me that it's lights out now. You know what I'm saying? It's lights out. They got it. So a lot of things gonna be changing with me, and I'm gonna continue to live my life though, and whatever little money I got saved up, and that I can get, I'm gonna try to get a better life. Live a better life, and um, I don't know if I don't think I can get my daughter back. I'm gonna have to wait 18 years until, well, not 18 years, until she get 18 years old. You know, so, but by then they're gonna fry the hell out of her brain. I don't even know if I can fully trust her when I do get her back. You know what I'm saying? Which I probably can. I know these feds in the army. When they get through shitting on her brain, man, it ain't gonna be shit, bro. She's gonna be a puppet. She's gonna be ready to kill me for them. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know if I can trust her. But, to my viewers out there, that's my update, man. That's where I'm at right now. And man, very smart people. So now I'm just gonna try to, maybe I'm make more videos and stuff like that, and still be on the internet as long as I'm continue to get blessed with enough to provide for myself and to pay my bills. And when these housing appointments call for me, and I go move up there, and I know the feds gonna follow me and the army gonna follow me because that's what they do. Um, I just hope they don't kill a police station wherever I go. Take over that police station because police dumb. Like I said, they don't know shit. They trust other police like they won't get their ass killed. You know what I'm saying? And then just hope I can live my life because if they take over that police station, kill them polices and put on a uniform and drive the car, I won't be able to live. I won't be able to live my life because they're gonna keep fucking with me everywhere I go. And ain't no police stations, ain't nobody gonna believe me. That's why I don't talk to that. You know what I'm saying? And the more people don't believe, the more damage they can do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real and it's just what the hell they doing. And so why people watch movies and see that shit in movies, nigga, they doing that shit in real life right here in South Florida. That's what they doing, and I'm in the middle of this shit. And they use me as bait. When they see a black dude, they say, hey, we got a black dude, his name, and then the police be quick to watch me. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, why you watching me, nigga? You better watch the other motherfuckers with guns and badges, because they finna kill your ass. But you can't tell them that. They'll throw me in the fucking mental house. You know what I'm saying? And by the time that shit happen, all their ass would be dead. And they tried to throw me in the mental house already before. But man, that's where I'm at, YouTube viewers, man. That's where I'm at. That's my update. But it ain't nothing to panic about, you know what I'm saying? Because the way I feel, if they gonna kill me, they gonna kill me, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And then, it ain't nothing I can do then. But while I'm still alive, nigga, I'm gonna continue to make my videos and do what I do, you know what I'm saying? And that's my update. But, so that's where I'm at now. It's lights out. Now they just waiting on my daughter to grow up so they can have sex with her and, maybe turn her to a hoe for the government, turn her to a stripper, or send her to the army. One of those three things, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna do. I got the feeling, You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they ain't gonna do shit after they dog her first. You know, they got to have sex with a dog all the way out. That's what they do. You know, but I don't think they're gonna do that just yet because maybe this video might do a lot of damage. So by me dropping this video, they might not um they might not do that. They might not do that because of this video. A lot of people can see this video, and then they'll know that the feds down here in South Florida up to no good in the military, and then maybe somebody notice my daughter. You know? I don't want to say her name, and I don't want to put any pictures um up about her later because for her safety. They got some crazy ass people out there that'll fucking kill you and all that shit. It's just crazy, man. But that's where I'm at, man. I just want to do that video update. But man, hey, I'm getting mad right now, and I'm just, I gotta calm down. So I'm finna go ahead and get off. I'm finna end this video. You know what I'm saying? I need some time to think.